Hi, and welcome to Class 5 of irls560, Acquisitions. The function of purchasing materials for the library collection is called order or acquisitions work. The work order is the older phrase, but indicates the primary function was placed on the ordering of a selected item with a vendor or publisher. This is a reminder that selector or collection developers decide what to add to the collection, and the acquisitions librarian decides where to get it at the best price with the fastest delivery. Most librarians order from wholesalers. Acquisitions is the interface between the library and the marketplace. As more libraries add digital rather than hard copy, the role of vendors or wholesalers has changed from providing physical book to managing access to digital content. For example, there are Amazon-like services which provide access to cover art, sample content, table of contents, and reviews. For digital content, libraries expect vendors to handle licensing and digital rights management issues for a wide variety of publishers. Increasingly, selection and acquisitions are more and more web-based. Absolutely essential for anyone involved in library order work is the Appalachian State University Acquisitions website. Though it's no longer maintained, it's a comprehensive source of relevant information available on the web. There's also considerable coverage of the collection development and management too. Related to the website is ACQNet, a discussion list for those interested in the acquisitions work. Subscription information is available at their website. Acquisitions, especially in a research library agency, can be demanding and complex. The acquisitions librarian is first a manager and a trainer, as well as someone who handles the most difficult snags. They must be skilled in financial and contract administration, knowledge of publishing trends, negotiation skills, and knowledgeable of automation and IT. As the only professional in a shop with several paraprofessionals, they must be an effective personnel manager. Most acquisitions departments purchase on a 10-month year from June to March, leaving April and May reserved for catching up on purchases, clearing records, and preparing for the end of the fiscal year and beginning of the new one. Acquisition tasks typically fall into three areas: search order, receiving, and fiscal control. So after receiving the customer request or knowing there's a demand, you have the search order request, verify order request, select vendor route, and prepare and send the order to the vendors. Then you have the handling licensing, monitor contract compliance, encumbering and monitoring the budget, and ensure that order monies are spent by the end of the fiscal year, as well as authorizing payment and canceling orders. You also have maintaining the records, receiving and checking orders, and handling issues. Now, in 1994, the Association for Libraries and Technical Services, a division of ALA, prepared and adopted the Statement on Principles and Standards of Acquisition Practices. This statement grew out of concern for ethical issues in the acquisitions transactions. And so this was in your reading, and so kind of what I've done is just gelled it down a bit. so that really it's always looking back at that parent organization, at their objectives and policies, that the staff is always looking out for the best way to spend the organizational dollar for the best value, that selecting a vendor really is based on vendor merit and services and materials, and that with the ethical, so that that process is not altered by other options or gifts and things like that. That the service of collection development is efficient, and that there's also an element of teaching and working with not your own staff, but sharing that wealth around other organizations. Now, policies and procedures vary. Purchasing is a function that almost always involves a set of policies and procedures set by the parent organization. Although the process of buying a new book or DVD or e-resource, for example, are essentially the same from place to place, the details involving the forms, approvals, and such do vary. The best way to learn about acquisitions work is to actually work with your collection development department, or to talk to other peer institutions and see what they're doing. Typically, acquisitions are willing to share their policies and procedures, and remember there's also ACQNet, where you can talk to a wide variety of collection development professionals. Now, relationships and purchasing. Purchasing plays an essential role in a process that begins with a selection decision and ends with an item that is intellectually and physically accessible and is available for use. Collection development and management. The relationship with the selector is crucial. Both need realistic expectations about the needs and wants of the other. In an understanding cooperative relationship, work order is easier and there are fewer snags. However, the selector must be free to order needed items even if they'll present order problems. For example, it's more work to handle requests for an item that requires prepayment or prepayment in a foreign currency than it is unprofessional for the order staff to discourage such orders, and simply because they require that extra effort. The relationship with cataloging, one of the important parts of work order is that verification piece. Staff verify that the request item is not held in the collection and that the various descriptors or attributes, such as publisher, title, subtitle, and surname author, are correct. Often this process yields the information needed to catalog, classify, and add subject headings to the work when it arrives. Thus, acquisitions and cataloging units often collaborate on workflow to eliminate duplication of services and ensure the prompt passage through technical services. With serials, check-in and claiming are part of the acquisitions, but may be delegated to other staff. Serials present their own unique problems related to format and sheer number.